Now, coming up, we meet the guy bringing the Piano Man's music to the capital. Elio joins us next.
So what a voice. That was a taste of the Billy Joel Songbook coming to Dublin's Olympia Theatre this autumn, and fronting that incredible show is singer and musician Elio.
He's been in a New York state of mind since he was 16, but not only that, as a musical director to the legendary Terry Wogan, Elio has performed with some of music's greats, including Brian May and Debbie Reynolds. Would you believe he joins us now on the line? Elio, such a pleasure to have you on the show this morning. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's absolutely wonderful to be here. Thank you.
First of all, I suppose, tell us, where did the obsession with Billy Joel come from?
Yeah.
I grew up in Eastleigh, Hampshire, and I used to love this song called My Life, that was on the radio all the time. Now, in the middle of the 1980s, I got a gig. I was 16 or 17 years old. I got a gig in a local pub. And at the same time, my first love had just dumped me. Now, this is relevant because I wanted to learn some new songs for this new gig that I had, and I wanted My Life, and my ex-girlfriend had My Life on a cassette, and I thought that would be a fantastic excuse to go around and get my girlfriend back. So I went round there and I knocked on the door. She wasn't happy to see me, and she threw a cassette in my hand and kicked me off the doorstep. I was halfway home when I realised that she hadn't given me the cassette with My Life. She'd given me the Innocent Man album. So I didn't want to go back for some humiliation more. So I took it home, put the headphones on, and listened to this Innocent Man album, and that's when my life completely changed. It got to track number 4 this night, and I'd never heard a rock star sing, and he wrote everything. I mean, for me, it was the day my life changed.
Yeah, so you were delighted to be dumped in the end, really?
It worked out.
It was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I mean, Innocent Man is what a song that is, by the way. But when you look, I mean, you know, for people who are going to come to the show, when you look at that songbook, Elio, the range of music, you know, from ballads to big rock numbers to ditty kind of pop music, it's staggering, isn't it?
It is. Billy Joel has said himself that he found his own versatility to have been a curse in the music business.
Wow.
They didn't want, they don't want an artist to be that versatile and that colourful. And for me, the Billy Joel Songbook is the greatest rock and roll songbook ever written. For me, Billy's the greatest singer-songwriter of all time. And it's because of the colour, the musical richness, the ballads, the rock, the pop, the soul, the Motown, the blues, the jazz. It's all in folk. It's all in there.
But Elio, we're looking at the clips of the show here. I mean, do you drive the truck as well? Because, I mean, you're singing, you're playing the piano, you're playing the guitar. I mean, it looks like a great night out in terms of the full band. But, I mean, do you do the catering at the gig as well? Like, it's nothing you don't do.
Simon, I used to drive the van as well.
Of course you did, yeah.
We used to drive ourselves to the gigs sometimes. The bass player would do, Neil would do it, Frank would do it, I would do it. We've gone past those days, thankfully. But no, I'm in it because I truly love this music. And because Billy Joel himself doesn't want to tour the world anymore, someone's got to keep this music alive because I can't see it dying. I just don't want it to die.
It's staggering. It's staggering. And you, of course, you carved out a career as a career in music, but you're a musical director. And you've worked, like, reading through the list of people that you've worked with, it is like a who's who in the music business. But there's a couple of little Irish connections. Tell us about Terry Wogan and what he did for you.
Well, Terry Wogan, just after I fell in love with Billy Joel's music, basically changed my life. Mm-hmm. I met Terry Wogan in 1988. I was on Bob Says Opportunity Knocks, the Bob Monkhouse show on BBC One. And I did very well in that show. And I ended up on Terry's chat show in 1988 when he was doing his Wogan show from the Shepherd's Bush Theatre.
And that was a huge show, Elio. That was a huge opportunity, like.
Oh my gosh, it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And they put me on at the end of the show with the credits rolling, and they held the show back by about 30 seconds because they were overrunning and they didn't want to cut me off. So they kept it running. He was just beautiful to me that day. I remember him going, well, good luck to you, son. You know, you've done very well to get this far. And 15 years later, I bump into him at a private do. I'm playing for a wedding, and he comes over and says hello. Then I end up playing for his son's wedding at Terry's house in the south of France a few years after that.
Wow.
Then, 2 weeks later, he starts playing me on The Breakfast Show on BBC Radio 2.
That's a game changer.
I didn't have a website, Simon. Elaine, I didn't have... the song that he played wasn't even available to buy.
Wow.
And he changed my life. So he really did. And then we ended up doing that Weekend Wogan show where I was his musical director, and he insisted to the BBC that I did the gig. The BBC wanted someone else. He said, if you want me, you have to have Elio Pace and his band.
Wow.
And he told them I needed 3 songs a show to be featured on my own as well. No one has ever put their neck on the line like that for me in my life.
Incredible.
And through that whole Opportunity Knocks and Terry Wogan experience, you got to get to know another great, the one and only Ronnie Corbett. Tell us that.
Well, Ronnie Corbett called my house on the Monday morning, 48 hours after I'd appeared on my national television debut on Opportunity Knocks in May 1988. He called the house. My mum answered the phone.
My word.
Elio, it's Ronnie Corbett. You know, my mum being from southern Italy. And I said, what? And, you know, he comes to the phone. Hello, it's Ronnie Corbett here. Hello. And we saw, he said him and his wife had watched me on television on Saturday night. Would I like to come to Edinburgh to open his show for him? It was already set. It was in 2 weeks' time. And at the last minute, he asked me to come and join him at the King's Theatre in Edinburgh to open his show. We started a beautiful friendship at that point. And I have to say that the last time I was at the Olympia Theatre in Dublin was supporting Ronnie Corbett in 2005.
My word. The Olympia is such a cracking venue. It's a great music venue. And you know what? Having dived into looking at your work and watching that clip, I think I'll be there front and centre.
Please.
It looks like an incredible night out, Elio.
I am very proud of the show, of the band. I have some of the best musicians in the world in my band. I'm very proud of the fact that I've been given this opportunity to represent a man who I truly believe is the greatest singer-songwriter ever. And you're all invited. Everybody at Island AM, come along to the show, because honestly, I remember playing there with Ronnie Corbett, and I remember thinking, wow, what a beautiful theatre. I would never, honestly, at that point, have believed that I would be headlining it myself.
And
so
Billy Joel has so many fans worldwide, and particularly in Ireland. I mean, I'd imagine that the roof will come off the place that night.
Well, we do every single hit. We do about 30 songs in the show.
Wow.
And the last 20 minutes, we do a couple of album tracks, but every single hit. We opened the show with Prelude, Angry Young Man, Moving Out, My Life, This Night, Longest Time, Pressure, Scenes from Italian Restaurant. In the second half, after we've gone through all the hits, we've left the big hits for the last 20 minutes. No more talking. No more telling the story. Everybody's up on their feet, and it's an amazing
Elio,
Uptown Girl.
Elio, will you sing Uptown Girl for me?
Right now? Uptown Girl. She's been living in her uptown world.
Elio, you sold it to us. Grazie mille, Elio.
Thank you.
We'll see you in October.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everybody.
Amazing.
Bye-bye. Now, Elio's show, the Billy Joel Songbook, hits the Olympia stage on the 31st of August. Not too long after my birthday. Can be my birthday.
There you are.
Tickets are on sale now.
We'll take a quick break. Stay with us. We're live until midday.